imagine in the peripheral nerve system, if you get fewer signals, if this tones down the signals, the symptoms are not as severe, and maybe that's how it works. It's all a black box. It's something we've tried that has shown activity, but we don't fully understand it. And Savella is really another antidepressant that has dual activity both on the norepinephrine and the dopamine nerve transmitter system. But they work. So often I don't know which one will work initially, so it becomes a trial and error process. It becomes a process of what the insurance will approve. You know, the expense of this is considerable. And often people need other medications. There's often a sleep component to this. They may need sleeping medication. They may need muscle relaxants intermittently, anti-anxiety medicines, depression medicines. All those are used and they work. And you have to find the right mix for the right patient. So it's really kind of tricky. Things that don't work are steroids. So there really is no role for steroids other than acutely, like for a few days to tide you over. And what doesn't work as well is narcotics. People often end up on narcotics because it's pain that they experience, but we can create monsters with addiction, habituation with these medicines. So they should be used very judiciously and just say no to drugs when it comes to narcotics. Trust and work with your doctor. If you get somebody who cares about you and is willing to put in the time, you can improve the quality of your life. If you get 50% improvement, that may be all you're gonna get. And if your expectation is 95%, you're probably gonna be disappointed. I hate to tell you that, but 50% is better than 0% by a lot. So fibromyalgia is real. It needs to be validated by your healthcare provider. You need to know it's real. It can be dealt with, and I wish you well in your journey. This is a tough diagnosis. I hope that in 10 years I can stand here and say we know what it is, we know how to treat it, we are moving forward. But I've been doing this for 25 years now, and we've come a long ways, but we have a long ways yet to go. So please hang in there. And if you have questions, just catch me after. I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Christy White and I live in Richmond and I serve on the board for the Utah Fibromyalgia Association. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia a little over 3 years ago, but I've been challenged with varying symptoms for quite a few years before that. It wasn't until 2008 that fibromyalgia began to impact my life more severely and basically changed my way of life. I had always been a very physically active and busy person, and because of chronic and severe pain that spread throughout my body, I became unable to do many of the activities that I had previously enjoyed. I'm sure that many of you here can relate to the challenges that I was dealing with because you've dealt with the same types of things. Pain that's not visible can move around from place to place in the body, and it can change from day to day and even hour to hour. I sometimes felt like people didn't believe me or tried to tell me it was all in my head. Many doctors didn't understand it very well, and sometimes even told the patient that there was nothing that could be done. Like Dr. Salisbury said, things are changing in that way. They're learning more. There are a lot of coexisting conditions. Self-doubt and feelings of worthlessness can creep in, and depression and anxiety can seem overwhelming. At times it seems like there aren't any options or resources, and there can be a loss of hope. Sometimes even suicide can seem a better option than the continual pain and other symptoms. Does any of that sound familiar? I'm sure it does. I know that I grieved the loss of my former life and good health for at least a year. And I so appreciate that my family didn't give up on me. They may have wanted to at times, but they didn't. They offered continual support and love, and I learned that I wasn't alone. I saw that others had accepted the reality of their condition and were willing to contribute ideas that might help me. It was very empowering, and I made it a point to schedule each meeting on my calendar and make it a priority to attend. Because I attended regularly, I was later invited to serve on the board, specifically helping to plan and execute the monthly meetings. In the past 2 years, our association has been evolving more and more. Our name was changed to the Utah Fibromyalgia Association a little over a year ago. Our purpose is to offer encouragement, hope, and empowerment to people with fibromyalgia through education and advocacy. We are a free, nonprofit education and support group. We have monthly meetings on the second Saturday of each month at 11 o'clock in the Logan Regional Hospital, room 6. And the education part of the meeting usually lasts about an hour, but people are free to stay after that and visit with one another, and that is more of the support aspect of the group. Personally, I have received all sorts of information about helpful books and websites, medication, names of people who offer alternative therapies, and just friendship from people who really understand. I get something from every meeting, and I always leave feeling positive and uplifted. It is our goal and desire that the meetings not be pity parties. Perhaps sometimes that's what we think we want, but it never seems to help. And so we try to avoid that. It's much better to laugh and learn than feel sorry for ourselves. In addition to people suffering with fibromyalgia, family members and friends are always welcome at our meetings. As a board, our desire is to arrange presentations that will help people realize that there are a lot of resources and options for them to discover and try, both medical resources and alternative. Some of the topics that our presenters have covered in the past are current research, sleep disorders and how they can be resolved, different types of exercise like yoga, qigong, and stretching, nutrition and food sensitivities, family dynamics and how to be a good parent when you're in pain all the time, using essential oils, pharmaceutical options, chiropractic treatments, available resources for mental health in our valley, foot zoning and massage, and others that I couldn't remember. The ones I listed were my favorite. Some of the programs that we've got coming in the months ahead in the next year: stress management techniques, intentional resting, cranial sacral, biofeedback, energy work, yoga for fibromyalgia, aromatherapy, and cognitive behavioral therapy. We know that there are a wide variety of manifestations and origins of fibromyalgia, so it makes sense that there are also a wide variety of therapies and resolutions of the disorder as well. If one therapy doesn't work, maybe another one will. There is ongoing research happening, and many doctors and the public at large are learning more about the disorder. One of the goals that our organization has is to compile a list of doctors who are willing to accept fibromyalgia patients and learn more about the condition. We'll begin with that in Cache Valley and hopefully can expand it through the rest of the state. We have a website. It's www.utah-fma.org that we're making improvements to and hoping to keep updated with all sorts of resources in our monthly calendar. It's quite new. If you're interested in receiving email announcements about our monthly meetings and activities, make sure that you sign a list over there and give us your email address and we'll add you to our database. I send a couple of emails a month telling about our upcoming activities so you can know whether it's something that you would be interested in attending or not. You can find us on Facebook by searching for Utah Fibromyalgia Association. Advocacy and awareness of fibromyalgia is another goal that we work towards. We connect with other support groups in the state and in the country, getting ideas for our own group and sharing our successes. We hope to assist in organizing more support groups in Utah. We're becoming a real presence in this valley and state, and even in the nation, because we have such an active group right here in Cache Valley. And I'm grateful to be a part of this advocacy effort. Now, I haven't been cured yet by any means, but I am in a better state of health than I was in 3 years ago, especially mentally, and I feel much more hope for the future. I credit much of that improvement to my participation in the Utah Fibromyalgia Association. I thank each one of you for coming today, for your financial contribution, and for the support you give to your loved ones with fibromyalgia and the many challenges that that entails. May God bless each of you in your search for good health and happiness and your efforts to help and serve one another. Thank you.
You can go, you can start all over again. You can try to find a way to make another day go by. You can hide, hold all your feelings inside. You can try to carry on, but all you wanna do is cry. And maybe someday we'll figure all this out. We'll try to put an end to all our doubt. We'll try to find a way to make things better now. And maybe someday we'll live our lives out loud. Or we'll be better off somehow. Someday. Why wait? Try to find another mistake. You can throw it all away, or maybe you can change your mind. You can run, and when everything is over and done, you can shine a little light on everything around you. Man, it's good to be someone. And maybe someday we'll figure all this out. We'll try to put an end to all our doubt. We'll try to find a way to make things better now. And maybe someday we'll live our lives out loud. Or we'll be better off somehow. Someday. 'Cause I don't wanna wait, I just wanna know. I just wanna hear you tell me so. Give it to me straight, tell it to me slow. 'Cause maybe someday we'll figure all this out. We'll try to put